best bunny in the whole wide world.
Unscheduled pollination cycle is about to commence. Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the wasquitos for pollination. Cycle is now in progress.
I don't really know what a wasquito is, but I think we're about to get educated in a hurry.
In the event you become trapped in a space with one or more wasquitos, try standing still. Just kidding. You die long before a wasquito grew tired of stinging you.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Look out!
Keep yourself to yourself. I just wanted to make you smile.
My eyes!
Everyone all right?
Analysis. This discarded canister is typical of the R-mounted storage tanks on the orchard's agricultural mechanicals. However, it is not currently attached to a mechanical. This canister contains a high amount of vinegar in addition to water. Warning. Use of vinegar, a known herbicide on purpleberry saplings, is a violation of Rizzo's agricultural standards.
Where are these canisters usually kept?
These canisters can typically be found in the nursery storage building in the purpleberry orchards, except for this one, which can be found here.
Let's do a deeper chemical analysis.
Chemical makeup of substance: 50% water, 50% vinegar. Trace amounts of woolly cow feces also detected. This console is 95% non-functional. Remaining 5% functionality stems from display reading console non-functional. Cause of shortout is most likely related to purple residue splattered all across the keyboard.
So how's it taste? Wait, let me guess. Purpleberry.
Chemical analysis.
Substance contains trace amounts of purple berries, fruit flavors, and artificial sweeteners number 35, number 49, number 240, number 322, number 314, and many, many, many others.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Rizzo's would be remiss to fail to mention the Orchard Storage Warehouse. Without this impressive-looking building, there would simply be no orchards. Gaze in amazement at the impressive construction of the front door, the sleek roof and glittering piping, the lush walls keeping this gem hidden from the rest of the orchards. This warehouse is truly, truly a wonder. One can only guess at the secrets contained within.
Yeah, sure thing.
Heading back.
All right, hello.
Someone needs to get to hive control to shut down the swarms. Someone needs to get to hive control to shut down the swarms.
Beat up. Stinging these, breaking their stingers and dying. Probably should keep them separate. Heck of a lot. What the hell? Heck of a lot. Hard to count. Do we really get a number every single fruit? We got more than enough. Mosquitoes, couple hundred hives. Real grumpy. You don't get stung by these. Spectral vodka, all colors. One left. One to Nut Hut. Swing by the Nut Hut. Saving. Been a long week. Purple bears are growing a heck of a lot faster than automaticals. Pick them. Caught you a couple times peering at me from my high hedges and like, how about you swing by my shack and we bury the hatchet? Right for this approach. Got a bottle of Spectrum vodka we can share. Halcyon here is cereal. Okay. Well done, Yarborough. If you see any wayward primals. Okay.
You trying to get us all in trouble? What do you think you're doing?
Oh. I was just leaving.
Carry on. Nicely done.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Here we go! That's one down!
I hear him.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Stand in awe before our huge Rizzo's Hothouse Conservatory trademark. This building hosts almost as many plant breeds as we have delicious products. Almost. Are you wondering about that omnipresent warm and fragrant mist? That's just our all-natural fertilizing spray, made of pureed Cysty Pig waste products. From nature, back to nature. Our spray is part of the cycle of life. Note, Rizzo's discourages inhalation of its safe and natural liquid fertilizer. In case of accidental inhalation, please record any unusual effects and give that record to the nearest Rizzo's employee as quickly as possible. Remember, you are part of the Rizzo's family. Be kind to your family.
Hello.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Hello.
Well, kiddo, we're safe from mosquitoes as long as we keep the doors closed. But someone ought to deactivate the cycle soon.
Real funny. Hilda, generally when two coworkers get blasted out of their minds, the spectrum makes it broke how why it will be somebody put wasps and mosquitoes together. A couple 100,000 rabbit insects. I can appreciate a good joke. Blah blah blah. 1, 2, okay. Bail me out. Earlier today, I accidentally selected begin pollination cycle. Terminal. No password protection. Happened there was a scheduled tour making its way through the orchards. Medical treatment. Not responding. Or since I received this promotion. Congratulations on your promotions.
Hey, God! What are you doing in here? Are you authorized to be in the conservatory? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell off the side of Eridanos under mysterious circumstances 6 years ago, conveniently rendering our marriage contract null. You must be the new, groundskeeper? That can't be it either, seeing how the new one hasn't died yet. Just who are you?
That's a hard question to answer. Who am I really? Who are any of us?
Merciful law, that sounds like a lot of philosophism, which is highly outlawed throughout Halcyon. But I won't report you, considering how heavily armed you are. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel.
Did Halcyon and Helen come through here?
Indeed. Tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again, which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all.
You're a botanist, right? What do you do for Rizzo's?
I sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of 100 failures. Example, tried breeding native tripicale with a foreign strain. Would have called it hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's a few dead workers in the architect's designs?
And waspitos?
You mean you don't know? Why, they're only Rizzo's brilliant solution to the problem of pollinizing crops while simultaneously protecting its investments. They come through the orchards only during pollination cycles, as dictated by our hive control operators, which means that visitors usually aren't on the receiving ends of their stingers.
But if something goes wrong in hive control, the waspitos could get out.
Well, yes, if there's an equipment malfunction. The pollination cycle will have to be manually shut down, which means traveling to hive control while the waspitos swarm.
Okay, well, goodbye. So...
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Well,
oh my God,
there,
no.
Valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I'm pretty sure that grin is permanent.
Why, thank you! Rizzo's encourages all workers to put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket.
You know of Halcyon Heaven?
Ah, you mean that lovely actor who got herself dead? Damn shame what happened to her. She did come by, but not during any official tour time. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling.
She was the spokeswoman for Spectrum Brown's ad campaign.
That's right. She was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest.
See any murder weapons lying around? Bottle of poison, smoking laser pistol, bloody blunt force object?
Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go.
Yeah.
Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all mosquitoes are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzo's would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing.
I actually already purchased a golden ticket.
Well now, you certainly are an individual of refined taste. There are folks who defend the premium option and its sprat petting zoo, but once you've been bit by one sprat, you've been bit by them all. Of course, tours of any excess level must be suspended during a scheduled pollinization cycle. Our mosquitoes are quite territorial and have been known to sting both workers and visitors alike.
And you're the groundskeeper?
Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to third keeper of the grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now. Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land.
You don't find it suspicious that the last groundskeeper went missing unexpectedly?
Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since.
Oh,
And the groundkeeper
okay.
before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some mosquitoes on trial. Accidents do happen on the job.
Wait, no, we are not glowsling over this missing groundskeeper. No one knows what happened to him?
Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore.
Okay, well, enough about the orchards.
Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. Instead, let's talk about whatever interests you, because that's what interests me, too.
I'm on an investigation.
What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the health inspection office, would you?
Health inspector office. I didn't think Halcyon had those.
For sure there is. The Health and Safety Bureau is board-run and certified. So in Eridanos, all inspectors effectively work for Rizzo's. Well, and other representative member corporations of the board. It turns out, the other board corps get a hearty chuckle out of harassing Rizzo's with regular safety checks. It's really not fair if you think about it. Just because we own less shares on the board than the others doesn't mean we should have to deal with health and safety inspections when the others don't.
Well, I guess it's your lucky day. No health concerns here.
Oh, goody. It seems I was unduly worried that something must have fallen through regarding our monthly bribe to Slug.
I'm just here looking for Halcyon Helen's killer.
Grisly stuff, that. I heard the poor gal got her brain pan bashed in. Not that she probably had much rattling around there to start with, if you know what I mean.
Elaborate on that.
Someone hit her in the head, real hard. Then she died. Can't imagine who might have had the hitting power to crack a skull. Well, aside from one of our tossball hackers, I guess. But no Rizzo's employee would commit such an atrocity. We're far too content with life for that. Won't find an unhappy Rizzo's employee in all of Eridanos. No diddly-dee-dum, you won't. Ha ha ha!
I heard enough, thank you.
I do hope this pleasant conversation has made me useful to you. Rizzo's likes it when we're useful to customers, and I like anything Rizzo's likes.
Are you okay? You seem excessively happy.
Why, you say that as if it's a bad thing. I am quite overcome with happiness, indeed. You won't find a Rizzo's worker in all of Eridanos who isn't 100% thrilled in their day-to-day existence. It's part of our brand manifesto.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
I am so glad you agree. At Rizzo's, we encourage our employees to view customers in the same way they would a board-approved social acquaintance. Which means it is my pleasure to spend time with you even when I am not being paid to do so. Isn't that nice? I certainly think so. And you know what never fails to bring a smile to my face? The breathtaking tours we offer throughout the orchards. Seasonally available for purchase in the Nut Hut.
Got a tour ticket already, but tell me more about the orchards.
An excellent decision you most certainly won't have cause to regret. Now, presently, you're standing smack dab in the pride and joy of Rizzo's nearly natural product development sector. We call this fecund landscape the Purpleberry Orchards, since that's our main crop. But we also sow and grow mock apples, nanners, pea-free nuts, tarmac, and more.
Okay, well, heard enough. Thank you.
Of course.
Goodbye.
I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Hey, idiot.
Hey! Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the slogan. Okay, you can do this, Anna. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family. How was that?
It was really... It rhymed.
That was completely splendid. You didn't embarrass yourself even the slightest bit.
No jest. Well, that's a wager I sure would have lost. Guess even a busted spectrometer can be right if you hold it to the light, huh? I'm sure you've guessed it, but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer. At least, not yet.
You haven't been causing trouble in the orchards, have you?
What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't tell you I've never made any mistakes, but it'd be pretty hard to keep my job if I were trying to break everything. Though there was the time I tried to fix a broken hinge on one of our mosquito hives and released a swarm. Chased me around the orchards 3 times before I managed to get help.
Considering the whole sting you to death thing, I feel like you got off easy.
Don't I know it? Worker friend of mine ran afoul of one of the swarms and had to get new kidneys. Not due to renal failure, but because the mosquitoes kept stinging his kidneys. Don't worry though, mosquitoes are typically only about when living folks aren't in the orchards.
So what happens if mosquitoes get out during visiting hours?
I am contractually obligated to tell you that mosquitoes never get out during visiting hours. But when they do, the only way to get them to return is to go directly to hive control and activate emergency recall. Which isn't easy, considering all the hives near control.
Yeah.
But this is all a departure from what I wanted to say. I've been trying to help the orchards, not harm them.
Uh-huh.
Hold a moment. You haven't found anything, have you?
Found a strange substance on the processing console. That have something to do with you?
Well, maybe. I might have had a supersized cup of mixed purpleberry punch and lemon slap that I might have knocked over when I was running routine diagnostics. Look, I know what you're thinking, but I have the proper permit to mix those drinks. I just left it in my other work uniform.
I don't know if I believe her, but she's really trying her best.
Oh, Pavardi,
Hey,
you're
we have a
wrong
lot
on
of
this one.
uniforms. It's hard keeping track of all your belongings.
Did you dump the drink before or after you removed the console's control panel cover?
How did you notice? The diagnostic normally takes hours, and that's only if humidity's low. I wanted to take the initiative to try and make it faster.
I found a toxic mist of fertilizer and weed killer on some purple-belly saplings. Thoughts?
Why should weed killer affect saplings? Weed killer. It's in the name. It should kill only weeds.
Oh my god.
That really seems like it's more on product design than on me.
Seems a bunch of our exterminator automechs were all on the warpath. Know anything about that?
Well, yes. The orchards are becoming overrun with pests. Usually we give workers handguns and tell them to go to town, which results in many injured workers and a few dead sprats. Our exterminator automechs only kill mosquitoes, and even then, only if an exec somehow ended up in the orchards during a pollinization cycle. So I decided to do some reprogramming. The reprogramming was easy until I locked myself out of the terminal. Then, when I was running away from the bots, I dropped the terminal access card somewhere in the orchards.
Bots were shooting anything larger than a mosquito. You must not have recalibrated targets.
Believe me, I know that now. Guess I did sort of mess that one up. Law's alive. I really did think I was doing good by the orchards, but with all that you've told me, it sounds like I've done much more harm. I know it's a lot to ask, but is there a chance you could vouch for me to my boss? It might not seem like it, but I've been trying to take the initiative. I really do want to help.
I don't know. Wouldn't that enable you to screw up even more?
Well, it could, but not if I'm given proper supervision. Everyone has to learn somehow, right? I guess I'm not sure what more to say. I suppose I just hope you'll make the right decision. If not for me, then for the rest of the Rizzo's workers. Back again, eh? I knew you couldn't resist my charms for long. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Unless you already have, and I've forgotten. In which case, I probably won't forget a second time.
You seen a sign of a beleaguered actor running around?
Oh yes. I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead. I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001.
You're a Burbage fan?
I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis, how the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, cry havoc, and let loose the canids of war. Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about?
What about Woolrich?
Who?
That's showbiz.
I suppose so. I also suppose Helen won't be stealing the limelight ever again.
I've never been an intern before.
It's not so different from being a regular worker, just with less pay and less respect. Oh, it's also more dangerous than traditional employment. You don't have the experience to back up your work yet, but being fired isn't any less threatening. Work-wise, I do a bit of everything. The orchards have been short-staffed as long as I've been working here. So if there's an odd job around, it usually gets passed to me.
How'd you get your position?
Laws. You've got a sixth sense for finding the most embarrassing question, huh? My mother is the Rizzo's assistant vice president of flavor testing. She set me up with this position. Mostly to keep me from troubling her work, I think. Consequently, I don't always feel like I deserve to be here. All the more reason to work harder, I say.
I take it you don't intend to stay an intern?
Much as I love delivering coffee and medical attention, not quite, no. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I sometimes feel that our workers could be treated a little better. Maybe only get electrocuted awake every other day? So I'm shooting for administration in Rizzo's. Maybe even the board itself. Best way to evoke change is from the inside, I think.
Why be an intern if it's riskier than typical employment?
Much higher chance of promotion. If I can tough it out here without getting axed, I can skip the 5+ years of customer service I'd normally have to deal with. I can prove my merit here and move up in the world. And the sooner I do that, the sooner I can set to improving things for everyone else.
Good luck with that.
I get the feeling you don't think I can do it. That's okay.
No,
Trying to improve the system from within isn't the most glamorous thing, but I think it's worth the effort.
What?
I can prove my merit here and move up in the world.
Assuming nobody exploits your weaknesses to push you into unemployment.
Wow, that's some decidedly paranoid thinking. I can't imagine someone ever doing something that nasty. Much higher chance. I can prove...
Helping folks is dangerous. Board doesn't like people who mess with the status quo.
Mother did mention that from time to time, but she always kept me far away from her work. Who could complain about happier workers and higher profit gains?
I learned my fill.
Happy to enlighten you on the fascinating world of internships.
All right, bye. All right, Anna. I was totally against you, but with the Burbage thing, you and the Woolrich who? But no. Anna's one of the people that we need on our side. She wants to improve things, and that I can get behind. The hell? Hey there.
Hello again, youngster. You're certainly doing a lot of running to and fro. Don't overexert yourself. The wasp-ketos can smell weakness. Bleeding hell. Standing up.
All right, well, you sound like a guy that a guy I know that really hated,
Moving out.
mechanicals. I'll close that. I don't want him to get hurt.
On my way.
So, wait a minute. So, hold on. Where the hell is this frickin'... Okay, so is this the maze? Alright, so, okay. So, here we go, right? This isn't the maze. Have you sold any Spectrum from the storage warehouse shipment?
Wow, what a strange question. I'm much too delighted to be suspicious. I sold lower-level Spectrums to workers from RR&DD Labs, Hive Control, and the Conservatory. Jacob's predecessor also splurged briefly on a bottle beyond his pay grade, and Black Hole Birdie bought my most expensive Spectrum when he visited. I wish he'd bought more. Oh, if you're looking for your own Spectrum, remember that you can always buy from the Nut Hut or the Grand Colonial Bar, so long as you have the bits to back up your taste.
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet?
Completed my investigation.
All right, let's hear the details.
A drink was spilled over the processing console, shorting it out.
A drink? I ain't never heard of no saboteur dumping drinks all over equipment to destroy it. I hate to say it, but that sounds more like worker carelessness.
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? Slug isn't behind your problems. Slug wouldn't even need to cause you problems. Your own workers do enough.
An herbicide was mixed in with the fertilizer, which ended up killing the saplings.
Ha! Knew Slug was behind the damn sabotage.
Please. We're subtle, but that's too subtle. If we wanted to destroy your saplings, you'd have known them by the blackened remnants of their stems, not some half-assed poisoning.
And I took care of the roaming exterminator automix.
Huh. You didn't destroy any of them? Reckon I would have lost that bet. Thanks.
One less expense for you to explain to your bosses, Hathaway. Lucky you.
So what were the fine details of the sabotage anyhow? Were Slug's lackeys trying to get the mechanicals to kill all our waspitos?
You're worried that Slug is trying to mess with your livelihood.
Of course. And what better way to do that than by targeting our pollinizers? They'd be a hell of a pain to kill manually. But if you set the mechanicals to do it...
In your delusional fantasy, the waspitos wouldn't be out until next pollinization cycle. Wouldn't someone notice the rampant mechanicals beforehand?
That seems like a question you should be asking yourself.
Is there a way to manually initiate a pollinization cycle?
Well, yes. It's possible to manually start and end cycles in hive control, but we keep a careful watch on it. And there have been no non-Rizzo's personnel in or out.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Hathaway. What you're proposing is infinitely less likely than an idiot maneuver by one of your incompetent workers. I won't hear any further slander. Let's go through this one final time so even you can't confuse it, Hathaway. Slug didn't do a damn thing to your orchards. You're chasing ghosts.
Talk about ghosts all you like, but someone was screwing with my orchards. If it wasn't Slug, then who the hell was it?
Anna Summers caused her problems, but she didn't do it on purpose.
Summers? The intern? I didn't really take her for a meddlesome type. But now that I think about it, that's why she'd be a perfect saboteur. I'll deal with her later. Right now, we of the orchards have to settle things with Slug. I reckon that you're about as impartial a third party as we're gonna get. Can you mediate?
Ah, what the hell. The orchardist seems to get off on complicating what should be a simple deal, but at this point, I just want to be paid and go. The pollen in the air is agitating.
Rizzo's will have bits to spare after the Brown unveiling. Could pay then, with interest.
Never like paying bits if I ain't gotta, but you're right. If we get production finished now, we'll be able to pay later. Thoughts, Slug Boy?
I think that's the first interesting suggestion I've heard since our back and forth began. Slug can wait for an increase in costs. I hope we won't have this conversation again.
Now that that's out of the way, we can discuss the intern. If she was really causing all that trouble, I will delight in severing her from her job.
Your intern confessed to being inept. She honestly seemed like she just wanted to help.
Even if I were inclined to believe you, that's some damn severe incompetence you're talking about. I still wouldn't want someone like that working the orchards.
Perhaps you could be used to each other.
What the hell are you proposing? Let her burn the orchards down while I stand behind her and applaud? We ain't got nothing to exchange.
The intern's an earnest worker, and I bet she could do an excellent job with your excellent genius and guidance.
She wants to help, does she? You know what? I'll call your bluff. She can keep at it with close supervision, but if she screws up even once, she's out. Use your pay, with a little extra for getting to the bottom of things. It's gonna be real interesting in the orchards for the foreseeable future. Thanks, I guess.
Alright.
Well, that's that, I reckon. Much as I would have liked you to send slug packing, I can't deny that your solution was damn slick. Wish you'd been there at the annulment of my last marriage contract. Maybe then my ex-husband wouldn't have my house, our teacup caneted, and 20,000 of my bits. Sorry. Reliving past trauma. Thanks for working things out.
The teacup candid is the big thing. Alright.
So, our situation is finally resolved. At the end of the day, it's almost amazing how easily you were able to solve both of our issues. Shame you aren't living in Byzantium. Could have been an intercorporate diplomat.
Oh, there's
But
gonna
at
be
the
no
moment,
corporates
I'm more
when
than
I'm
pleased
around.
to take advantage of your considerable skill. Thanks for ending this nightmare, Inspector.
I thought you were going to offer me pie.
I've still got some paperwork to work out here. But after that, goodbye, orchards.
I better get some of that pie.